Hello everyone.
Hello everyone.
Hello. Welcome
To another day of
another exciting day of us running the stream and making hope that everything works. This time we're on time, like for once.
just because we started like 1 hour before, just messing with the cables and everything, and it just got fixed in time.
There was no panic until 10 minutes before this, or like nothing. The camera was not working, the game was not working, everything was fine, but we got there. We're all good.
Yeah, good. So, what are we going to talk about today?
So lots of things, talking about a new event that we have this weekend coming up, a really cool event, introducing the new characters like Punch and Counterpunch. So we're going to be showing them and their ability in the challenge battle.
We will also read the dialogues written by Simon Furman. That's going to conclude this Counterpunch saga.
Yeah.
And showing more stuff.
More stuff, announcing the winners of the fan vote about the new characters that will be in our next trailer. So, see who you guys voted and selected from the Autobots to win or die in our new trailer.
Should we start saying hi to some people?
Let's start saying hi.
So let me take Twitch to say hi to Primetime. Hello, Green Weasel. Macaulay, Papi Bless, we will talk about you today. Still Prime.
That was ominous.
Dave88 Prime, hello. Thanks for joining us for this stream. I see a lot of the usual, some new names, maybe new people. Soaring Eagle 76, hello from PsyOps. Hello PsyOps Alliance, hello to everyone. Do you want to jump into our channel?
Yeah, on Facebook we have Sean Hansen, Cesar Andre Valenzuela Carrillo, Jason Perry, hello to German Brown, Bill Helton, hello to Alex Alcantara, hello to Christophe Dom, Matthew Coleman, hello to Jose Daniel, Corey Speaks, Justin Nefey, and Pascari Georgie? Yeah.
And on YouTube, hello to Noveler00, hello to Shadow Warrior, hello to Happy as Wolf 123, hello Howard Choi, G1 Armada, Hoi Wong, Hotshot. Sorry fella, you're Russian, so my Cyrillic are not that great. Voltron X, Spill YT, Jeffrey Mayfield, Ruben Rhines, and Super Prime Games. So hello to everyone, and welcome to another stream of Transformers Earth Force.
The first question I have seen is, where is Debs? Do we know where is Debs?
I have no idea. I think she's on holiday because
we look for her.
Because she said she's gonna be away for holiday, and I said, like, you're again? And she's like, well, when's the last time I've been on holiday? Because the last few times she was out in work in like Southeast Asia, so work.
Okay, so we hope she's enjoying the holidays and she's back soon to rescue us on the streaming, but we managed today.
Yeah,
so.
we're all trained now, but still, like, I mean, if last time Deb was here, we still like couldn't get things sorted until 10 minutes after. So technical problems are always gonna be there, but we will persevere. We'll be here every 2 weeks.
Okay, yes, of course.
So without any other adieus, will we start going through this week's event?
Yeah, let's start with the event because this event, you have it on the screen. We are showing the Decepticon site with Counterpunch.
Yeah.
And this kind of bad guy face. It's kind of weird, right? How he looks. It makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, he looks like a proper bad guy.
Yeah.
He needs to fit in. He needs to fit in with the
absolutely.
Decepticon, so he has to have a bad face. It's part of what they are.
Okay.
He has has the face of like the sneaky spy that's just gonna get into the other faction and you cannot really trust.
Yes, exactly, that's the word. You wouldn't trust this guy. And you would do well not trusting him because this is Counterpunch, the counter side of Punch. And seeing the numbers, we see a lot of random numbers. So it's 10 million Ergon, 10 million Alloy, 100,000 spark, that's kind of a step up on the usual spark, and 100 operative crystals. This is an ATP Alliance tournament with prestiges. Every time you finish a prestige, you get a crystal, and you have a chance to win one of these bots, whether it's on a 2-star, 3-star, or the very lucky ones, a 4-star version. And super XP. This means as much you can play through these 100 prestiges and gain a lot of super XP. So it's a good opportunity this weekend to level up your bots, to play a lot with your alliance. And I made this 100 prestiges because some of the top alliances were falling a bit short and they were wanting more. We know people, it's also supporting their broader alliances too. So basically it means this weekend will be very busy for everyone, and I want to make sure it pays out to everyone, so that's the extra amount of resources, spark, always good, and super XP. Seeing the event itself is the usual lineup where you get some resources, the spark, the further you go, the further the rewards you unlock. And then every time you complete a prestige, you will get the crystal. This crystal with a chance to get the bot. The chances are exactly the same that any other event that finishes with this kind of this type of event. So this saga finishes with this type of event. It's 100. That means you have more chances to get the bots. If you don't get the bots, you will get shards, and that means you will get more shards than usual if you go further from the 60 prestiges. So I think it's a good opportunity to play together with your friends and get a lot in exchange. And seeing the battle zones, as I mentioned, but that's always a confusing part. But you can tell when it's a super XP when the last event, the event zone 14, it says 900%. And every single battle zone has an increased amount of XP. This kind of event is where you can get the most XP of any other event. So that will be a good opportunity to play this weekend.
Yeah, it's I mean, 100,000 spark, like that by itself, I think is one of the best rewards we had. So I think people just looking forward to just level the bots, level their abilities, get some rewards, and getting a chance to get punch a counter punch. So I think everyone is going to be happy.
And especially now that you will see what they do in battle.
Yeah. The playtester quite like them, so
Yeah.
I'm confident you're gonna like them as well.
So again, I mean, for this one, we were using some people from the community to play through and actually see like if they're balanced or if they're good and if they're strong or if they're too strong. So a lot of their final abilities are based on the feedback we got from people of the community. So I hope you guys enjoy
Hopefully it's
them.
gonna be balanced, yeah. Enjoy them.
Well, unless the people from the communities try to make them OP, so it becomes all too easy. But who knows? No, I think they're pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, and they are quite fun. I did the challenge battle just because I wanted to try them, and it's fun to see how they switch, being the two sides of the same coin, and they start bombing up things.
Yeah, once again, we'll try
That's a
to
spoiler.
fit in the lore, in the ability a little bit. So yeah.
And I especially enjoyed, when you unlock the bot, you unlock a small dialogue. These are written by Simon Fuller,
Yeah,
right?
I was about to talk about it. They're really good this time.
It's really,
yeah, it's really
good.
funny.
And that's also the reason why we have the 2-star. We always say the 2-star version of this bot is so you can try it by yourself, and also you can see the dialogue, so you won't miss out, even if you are not lucky enough to get the 3 or 4-star version. Although 3-star version should be pretty. There is very good chances that you will get.
There is a difference between 3-star and 4-star, I think for sure. But I think even a 3-star could be capable in your squad. At least some people like require that.
Yeah. So there's obviously a difference in stat, HP, and damage, but there will be for punch and counter punch there will be a difference in ability between the 3-star and the 4-star. The 4-star ability the effect lasts a little bit longer than the 3-star, but 3-star and 2 stars are the same ability.
Anyway, let's not rush ahead. We're gonna talk all about abilities in a bit.
Yeah, we are so excited.
I think we have first to do some dialogue.
Dialogue time.
Everyone's
Your
favorite thing.
I have no idea how they sound. I haven't checked. I usually check how they sound in the,
It's
the
just
cartoons.
improvise. It's fine.
Improvise. So yeah, usually you will be able to do it yourself at home if you want, just playing the dialogues. And we don't have the art yet, so this is a placeholder, but we have the dialogue. So playing now, are we ready?
Yeah, let's go for it.
So, Melody, Optimus, Cybertron is trying to send someone through. And it's not this guy. But I have no scheduled super rotations or new arrivals.
Your diligent and server melody is much appreciated. But in this case, I deliberately kept our new recruit off the books, I believe you would say.
Okay, does this recruit have a name?
Punch.
Does what it says on the tin then? Ricker by any chance? Springer?
Ha, no, very different approach to us.
No, I'm intrigued. Normally it's all trumpets, fanfares, and tech specs when we add someone to the rooster. This feels a little more low key. What's he does, this Punch?
Counter-espionage.
Which covers a multitude of sins. Fine, sure, I get it. Ask no questions, space bridge activated.
Welcome to the Air Force, Punch.
At your service, Optimus Prime, sir.
No need to stand on ceremony, lad. You're among friends here.
Say, don't I know you from somewhere? Face looks familiar, but I just can't place it.
Nah, don't think we've had the pleasure. I've just got one of those faces. What say? We give you a tour of the Autobah's Earth facility. Get you acclimatized and up to speed on our current operational strategies. Sounds perfect. Thing with counter-espionage is you need to know all the secrets you're supposed to be protecting.
Oh boy. Well, that wasn't strange in any way. Not even the boys. Why do I get the feeling there is more to Punch than meets the eye?
Optimus, a word. What is it, Prowl? Punch, it's just he's been off the books for a long time. Who's to say Punch is wholly on our side? Do you trust him? Want to know a secret, Prowl? I trust everyone and no one.
Boom, boom, boom.
As much as Megatron saw free to test Punch, so shall we.
Nice.
So yeah, the ambiguity stays, like you don't even know if the bot is really Autobot or Decepticon until the end of the story.
I don't think even himself, no.
No,
Yeah.
I think that's part of the character. It's pretty much his the ability to turn into a Decepticon at will. It just makes him a bit confused or like.
But he's also like completely driven by the personality he turns into.
Yeah.
So when he turns into like Counterpunch, he actually thinks he's part of the Decepticon somehow. But then when he turns back, it's very confusing. So it's also a psychology thing.
Oh yeah.
It's interesting.
It reminds me a bit the Sentius twins, the relationship they have, but much worse. Like it's all in his mind. Poor guy.
People were commenting on his shoulder pads.
It's the 80s. It's fine.
It's the 80s.
Apparently our voice acting needs lots of work. We do ask for people to go train us for voice actors, but there's no budget for that.
If you really wanted to fake the feminine voice, it doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound proper.
Well, I mean, we had Adam who used to like practice his voice over every day, the whole day while we were working with him. So after that, we decided no more practicing on voice because you can only go through much like with just saying the Megatron voice soundedly excellent. Oh no.
There was another one.
Yeah.
I remember working with him, and it's constantly every day you will hear from time to time an excellent in the background. It was good fun.
Cool. So yeah, another great story from Simon Fairmont. Make sure you guys read about it, and there's of course like more story when you get the 2-star or 3-star or 4-star version of the bot.
And the second part with the Decepticons.
Yeah.
Who deceives the deceivers.
Exactly.
Cool. So that's all for dialogue, and other things, so we can go back and see the bots again, I think.
Yeah, we can show the showroom again.
Yep. We did it like last stream, but let's remind ourselves.
So yeah, for the showroom we actually went faction. So if you go into the showroom with the Decepticon, you're gonna see Counterpunch. That acts like a scout. Is designed to like go around the base. You can see the different color on the other side. That reminds you that it might.
That is actual punch.
Yeah. So like if you go to the back, yeah, the insignia on his back just gives it away a little bit. But yeah, in the showroom, what we wanted to show is actually the transformation into a car, which is not so much displayed in battle, because in battle we'll see later what the ability does, but it doesn't turn into a car. The car will be in battle only for the bot to enter the battle. But yeah, so we still wanted to show it in the showroom because that's the most interesting part. Considering the transformation from punch to counter punch, it's just like a bit of a flick.
It's a bit of a shame that you won't get to see him transforming the car in the battlefield, but we thought like just having them just switch between the two will actually be much better.
Yeah, it makes a lot more sense with the lore and how they are in the cartoon. So yeah, that's Counterpunch. They still they look a little bit different still. Like Counterpunch has a different face, obviously, the one we were talking about, like this kind of like
Did you punch here?
Yeah.
this sneaky face of a spy, and Punch looks a bit nicer, and somehow like the shoulder doesn't look the same. They're more attached to the arm for Punch, and for Counterpunch they feel more like shoulder.
It was funny when we were designing and we were getting them both at the same time, and I was like, they had the, and I couldn't remember which one is punch and counterpunch. So one has the shoulders like that, and the other has the shoulders backwards, and I was like, is this the correct one?
Because at the beginning the head were not quite there from the design, so we were just like really confused between the two. So I guess
that's his job.
That's his job.
That's his job.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's do punch and show too.
Yeah, I like how the toyish look it has. I mean, you can tell the toy from the car, for example, the pieces, how it will disassemble to change, and how it looks kind of used. Like, it's been in many places. He has seen things, both as punch and counter punch.
And this bot literally came into the game because for weeks it was asked during the streams.
It's one of the bots like. I mean, we didn't even know, like I did in the stream, like do punch and counter punch, do punch and counter punch. So it's like, yeah, so let's give them a go. Like, seems an interesting character with an interesting story.
Yeah.
Someone can actually use an interesting ability.
So you're talking about the ability, we can show.
Yeah.
Maybe we can read it.
Yeah. So I'll go in. So the ability of punch and counter punch. So you go undercover for 10 seconds and throw EMP grenades and defenses, dealing approximately 12 damage per second and disabling them for 3.5 seconds. This is of course like level 1 of level 1 of the bot. So
yeah, so you go undercover. It is actually, so people were wondering about this, but it's actually the same sort of effect as Slash and Reaper Snapper. So they actually go undercover and defenses cannot see them during that time. So they kind of like roam free in the base as a scout, and they throw these EMP grenades around, and this EMP grenade just like disable the defenses are targeted, and they also do damage over time, something similar to Silver Bolt, for example. Yeah, and what I was saying is like the duration 3.5 seconds. So this grows with when you upgrade, and this is where it is different between the 3-star and the 4-star. So it's 3.5 here, and I believe it's 2.5 for the 2 and 3-star, and then it grows from there. Okay. So it doesn't stay at 2.5. And yeah, Punch stays in the undercover mode for 10 seconds, and then it throws multiple grenade, and yeah, so it can kind of like disable a little area of the base.
So yeah, it's like someone, if you need help in some opportunities, you just engage him, he'll go around, stun all the defenses, give you a bit of a breathing, and actually also do damage at the same time.
Yeah.
And the stun will can actually extend after he actually gets out of the stealth mode.
Yeah.
Do these grenades land on any kind of building or only defenses?
So only defenses.
Only.
So it's a bit of a special ability. It doesn't work like anything else. It could work a little bit like the shock fire missile from Optimus Maximum. Once it has targeted one defense and it's disabled, it would automatically go to a different one. So it's quite cool to just like target like an area where there are multiple ones and just like disable the damage coming from there. Yeah.
Cool.
It's definitely
So it's actually better to maybe take them for a spin and actually show them in a challenge battle.
It's a proper sabotage.
It's a proper, yeah.
And the designer gets to do the honors.
That's right. Are you going to talk?
Well, I'll try to accommodate over this. So as you see, we have like for bots, Panzer Cutter Pants, Tarantulas, Impactor, and Lagnat. So
It's going to attack there.
So he's gonna go in ahead and actually starts throwing and lobbing grenades to all the defensive buildings, stunning them like for 10 seconds. So you can see that he just throws stuff around, and so it's actually circles through and actually does a bit of damage. So if you
I'll do it again. Up.
You
Yeah, and you can
score.
see while you do that, you actually turn into counterpunch. Yep. You see it has quite a long reach.
So let's see what the stats is. So you can actually see a bit higher. So it does 105 damage per second. So at that level is about 1,000 damage. Well, actually no, sorry, for 4.2 seconds. So that's around 400 damage. So it's not a lot of like damage per se, but it's more of like give you breathing on all the abilities that you actually fight. You can see
So
that.
it is a scout, so definitely like a more of a support bot rather than a really like high damage.
Yeah. So you can see like, okay, you just try to disable all the buildings going up there, and then you can have let's have tarantulas passing there,
It's going to be a little bit of heal going on.
web there.
Then the other, who is it then? Is it? So now it's very confusing because, for example, the outpost bot is punch that turn into ability, and you have the feeling you don't know which one is yours.
What
Thank
is-
God you still have.
What
the
does he
nav
do
bar.
in the defensive thing? Does he again go in 10 seconds from lobbing grenades to everyone?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, that's a pretty cool
That's
ability.
pretty cool. It's a bit on defense. It's not. It still sends grenade to the outpost bot. Sometimes if your opposite bot is just walking in a direction and the grenade doesn't lie there exactly, it doesn't. So it works better if the other bots are around, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's quite cool. It's definitely support one, and it doesn't have much health, but because it can like disable targets, and it's also a scout, which means like it dodges like some cannon. It has also like this passive effect. It's quite a good little resisting bot that can sabotage your enemy base.
I guess it's a lot of timing, right? It's proper stun, and then you can chain it with other skills. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good support.
A lot of people say like his duration could be a bit longer. I think we had a point where it was a bit longer, but then we found out that he was getting a bit too OP because he could just sack the whole base and he would just move to the next target, and by the end of it you would just be able to destroy the whole
Yeah,
base.
you could get into the mode, disable the defenses, and by the time they was not disabled, you could get into the mode again, and basically you could almost like solo base. And some people have been complaining a little bit that Slash can do this, for example, being in stealth mode, and this is definitely not something we wanted to run into again.
Yeah.
So it's good to use in combination. We didn't wanna make it like a solo base kind of bot.
Yeah, it's more kind of a support, and I think for that for that he actually excels into that. But he's not like a bot that will just like allow you to just solo a high level base.
Nice.
Cool.
You try it?
Yeah. So again, he just go through.
So yeah, there was a
stance,
question
everything.
about does he only target defenses with his ability or does he stun resources too? So it's definitely better to use it on defenses. If there is no defenses around, it will start targeting resources building, which honestly is not something that you want to do because the stun is useless and the damage are not really high as we mentioned. So it will still throw the grenade, it will go on a random building and it would not have much effect. So it's really better to use it to like an area which is really dense in defenses. So it will work, but I would not recommend it.
See, like, let's go stun all these last defenses on the way there.
Do it.
And yeah, it works on defense. So when he's going to be triggered on the outpost, he's going to target the opposite faction bots. So that's what he can target: defenses and outpost bots.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
People are asking, like, now that we have two bots that go invisible, what's gonna happen? Because there are already reports of Slash being OP because you cannot see them. So I won't say like a nerf is gonna come to Slash, but we will introduce ways that things can target Slash and punch and counter punch in the future. So it's more of like, yes, it's cool, these bots are invisible, but we want some way that you can actually reveal them if you have either the correct bots on defense or maybe some other upgrade on the mines that will allow you to actually trigger even though they are stealthy. So we are thinking ways around it, not actually making the bots worse, but actually introducing some mechanics that will allow you to reveal.
Yeah,
So if you were to plan to only use that strategy, I will expect that eventually you will have to overthink and to feel that there will be something else there that will detect you. Because at the moment it's like, someone with a Slash could actually just send him out and he will be invulnerable if he can still have the ability points to destroy. And that was never our thing, so eventually we will introduce things that will be able to detect him if they are existing in the base. So
the plan is not to make Slash completely useless or anything. There will be most of bots, most of defenses will still not see Slash when it's stealthy, but we will just want to bring a solution to this specific.
Give option for bases to be able to detect him, some kind of a scanning or some other bot that can actually detect him. So we'll see. We're still thinking about it, but it will happen in the future for sure.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of the game. We bring new offensive stuff, then we need new defensive stuff. Just keep the strategy.
It needs a counter strategy, right?
It's more of like there needs to always be some option. Like you can't have one bot that cannot be detected. And maybe we should have done something else already, but we will do something eventually. But I don't want us to touch Slash at all.
Place 0 is having some feedback and says thermal scanner power core, but for building bots. So in that way you can put your building bots.
I've read that before. People want the building bots to be useful in defense. I've read that before. I don't think it's going to happen.
Well,
cool.
Leave the building bots alone.
So that's punch and counter punch. Hopefully you guys are enjoying them. I think they are pretty good bots and really interesting in a way.
Yeah, they are they're a little bit special compared to other kind of behavior in battle.
Cool. We will always just get some questions if some people have.
People is quiet today. What's happening? You can drop your questions, and we may not be able to catch them all, but we are checking all the time the chats, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. So if you have a question, just drop a line, and we'll try to answer it.
Yeah, I haven't seen many questions.
Yeah, I mean, questions will come eventually. I want to also we know, I think maybe just right now or in an hour or something, most people will have finished building their combiner outpost. So I'm really excited to see how you guys actually start using, or what's the impact of the combiner outpost gonna be on the battles. So we're still that's why we don't have any Prime League effects even for this week and the next week. We do want to see how the difficulty will affect the battles, and then from there we want to see. At the moment, I think we push some fixes over the week. There was we did leave initially the ability for combiners to stun other combiners because we thought that would be an interesting approach. But we found out that the feedback for the player was not great, so you could not tell that your combiner was stunned. So we did revert that change today, and so again, the stun abilities of the combiner will not affect the combiner. We might introduce it in the future, but we want to at least make it clear because it looks like a bug when Combiner has like I cannot press any abilities and I don't know why. So
Yeah, like kind of the VFX was getting in the middle of Combiner, you could
Yeah.
not really see. The Combiner was
Yeah.
moving but not really fighting. It was just not a great
Yeah.
experience.
So we will address that. We do know also other reports about Optimus Maximus being quite OP on defense. I don't know if we will do something like that, but we are also like we're looking out for feedback. So if you have any feedback, just you can post it in our channel or through any other media, and we will see how it looks and what changes we need to do. But we did introduce it as a new like option for defense and something to keep you a bit more occupied. So you have to think something new until whenever we do a new HQ update. So let us know how it feels and.
That's quite, yeah, there's like 3 abilities per combiner,
Yeah.
5 combiners, it's like quite a lot of strategy to explore to
Oh,
defend
yeah.
your base. I think it's going to be interesting.
Nice. So some questions about the next 5-star cycle. It's soon to decide yet. It will take a few months yet.
It's too soon to decide yet. Let me clarify that.
It's too soon. So yeah, of course we have a schedule for that, and there will be another batch, but it's soon for that. We will inform you. We will do some spoilers at some point, but the usual.
Yeah, so maybe this year, maybe by the end of the year. But yeah, we do want to slow down a bit the rollout instead of doing it every 5 or 6 months because we start running out of bots to do 5 stars. So let's, but they will be coming eventually.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm reading a lot of suggestions about like the anti-stealth mechanic, and there's a lot of things that like come down to power core for defensive building,
Yes.
and this is definitely something we're discussing right now.
There's something in power codes or like bots, specific bots like
Yeah.
Slash or Reaper Suppler themselves being able to actually counter the bots. There is a few ideas for throwing around. Power cores requires people to go find the power core, so I'm a bit like I don't want to just depend on that idea. But we will investigate a lot of the options, see what's best. There's of course people want bots to be buffed. There's already we have a big list of people's requests over the time. So like we
Yeah.
will take a look at them. For
Well,
sure.
we do that, and also we take a look at them also when they become 5-star. That's what we did during the.
Well, I mean
last
that's already a 5-star. The one you
Yeah.
just highlighted. so yeah, we will come around for
round.
sure.
Yeah.
Kronos Prime is asking about prime shards in events, jumping in because it's an event question. Now that we don't have a limit for the prime shards because you can use them to get the G-Metal cores for bots and buildings. For sure we'll have more. It doesn't mean that we'll have like double the amount of events than one per saga, but probably will increase a bit the candency, and it's something we'll see more.
Question about do you see that one?
Yeah, you can take that.
Yeah. It's because I took it because it's literally something that is on my to-do list and I keep on forgetting. It's about hunger being really small compared to other. It's too small in the game. It's like it's a dinosaur and it looks really small.
And he's also
And I know you
quite
told me
occupied.
like a while ago to do it.
See, I do transfer your comments to Fabian, but the list gets a bit bigger and we do working on other stuff.
Yeah.
But we do make notes of your requests and
Yeah.
we will process and like.
Yeah.
Of course, we're not gonna do everything because then maybe we tip the balance the other way around. But we will try to.
But it's an
accommodate
easy
most of
thing and I
things.
should have done it a while ago. I will. Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
Should we intersect with something else, something really cool? So the reason why we highlight Pavel Bless in the channel, it's actually some people might not know, but he's actually a writer, and he's actually be publishing his first comic that we actually have a preview in here, coming soon from IDW Comics. So this is Transformers Galaxies. I don't know if you guys can see it clear enough. Maybe you need to go a bit closer.
Do you want me to zoom?
Yeah. So
Zoom.
cool. Alright, there. Close. Cool. So there you go.
Yeah.
So it's a comic coming from Pavel Bless, real name Tyler Blenzinski. Cool. And also artist Livio Ramondelli. It's actually coming from IDW Comics. First session, and will hit the stores on Wednesday, September 25th. So we got a free copy today to actually browse through. It's like art looks good. So
really
congratulations, Puppy Place. It's really really exciting for us to see like a person of our community actually, doing stuff like that, and it feels good for us
Very cool.
to involve players that's so big and so effective in the community of Transformers. And
I mean, the art is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure the story is. I'm going to probably
Yeah,
read it
yeah.
after this stream.
probably we won't spoil the story, but the
Yeah.
title is
Transformers Galaxies.
and Constructicons Rising.
Looking at the back cover, it seems to be, it says something like a strong start to a fantastic tale of epic struggle that looks to peel back the shadows of Cybertron's past.
Oh.
Cool. So again, congratulations, Puppy Place. Hope all the best. And yeah, so
Our respect.
respect for him.
It looks really cool.
Cool. So a reminder, again, you can find it in the stores Wednesday, September 25th.
And don't forget to support these
Yeah.
kind of things. We're always happy to hear about your creativity and doing your stuff. So you can send us anything, pictures. So we have seen cookies, cakes, pictures. Now we have an amazing comic. So keep them coming. We love them.
Cool. Yeah, if everyone is working on anything, just please let us know. Yeah, we'll feature it, as Jairo said. Moving on again. So, like last stream, we announced we're gonna be doing a vote, and we wanted your opinion. So we wanted to do a vote for the next trailer we're gonna be doing for the game, which we decided we do them every now and then, and it's a cool idea to actually do a trailer because our cinematics art guy loves the Transformers and he's back and he wanted to do one. So we asked from you to select the Autobots that will actually be featured in the trailer and actually be going against our new Decepticon foe. I'm not gonna reveal what it is at the moment. So we have the results now, and they're not that surprising, to be honest. Well, the reason why we voted because we didn't want to have the same characters over and over again. I think
Mark was saying.
Mark was saying, I don't want to do another video with Optimus Prime and Grimlock. And number one in the vote, Optimus Prime. Number two, Grimlock. I mean, people's favorite. I was pretty certain that will happen, but yeah. So let's go through the top six results, which are gonna be the bots featured in the trailer from the Autobot side. So we have number one, Optimus Prime. Number two, Grimlock. Number three, Star Saber, which is gonna be interesting because we haven't had him yet into kind of a cinematic.
It looks really cool. I really like the look of it.
And number four, Ultra Magnus. Number fifth, Sendius Magnus.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks guys voting our
Both.
vote.
Yeah.
And number six, Elita 1. So get some girl power in there. So it's a collection of quite interesting characters.
It is
In the
actually.
game and really cool ones. So again, Optimus Prime, Grimlock, Star Saber, Ultra Magnus, Sendius Magnus, and Elita 1. So these are gonna be the 6 characters you guys vote, and they will be featured in the trailers.
Can't wait to see the trailer.
Yeah, we're gonna be. I think when Mark comes back in a few weeks, we're gonna start showing some tidbits and some information to keep you excited. But yeah, it's gonna be really, really cool.
Every time I walk to the art team section over there, I can see little bits on the screens, and it looks already really
I
cool.
haven't visited for a while. I need to pay him a visit. Cool. So.
That's pretty exciting. I don't know.
Yeah,
I was not.
so-
I was not checking the.
There is a few questions. Justin Nave, can we get more community events like they did before with Prime Core Shards? This is on my to-do list. The thing is that it requires a lot of tracking, because a reminder of that event. The more the whole community spent Energon on Power Cores, you would unlock prizes for everyone. and the tools for that kind of disappeared. So we are building the tools again. We are building the way to track that kind of resources and the art and the things we can post. So it's on the to-do list, on my to-do list, and it will happen. It will happen sooner or later.
Yeah, hopefully, because that would be really cool seeing the whole community come together.
To have them.
It is engaging, but it is something that is a bit harder to do. CJ Alvin again says about slats and structures discrepancy. As I said, we have made a note of that. It is in the list to equalize a lot of the bots, both between Autobots and Decepticon faction. It's not just structures and slats. Those are especially bad, but yeah, like we will get around it for sure.
If it's just stats, yeah, there's no reason why.
Yeah, no. So we'll definitely get a go from through for sure. Cool. So we'll do some trivia before we're moving to more, giving a bit more people more time to questions.
We do have like trivia.
For once, yeah. Last time I think we had to restart it.
Yeah, it's Nathan Webb as usual. He's like a walking encyclopedia about Transformers, and he knows everything. And he sends us this question so we can share it with you. Question: you have to give us the answer, player name, alliance, and your HQ level, so we can find you if you are the winner and give you some freebies from the game. Question 1. I will start with question 1 that says. Question 1. By now, most HQ16 players should have built their combiner outpost. But in 1986, when combiner toys were first being introduced to the UK market, Hasbro had Marvel UK write an exclusive comic about combiners to advertise them. So Hasbro asked Marvel UK to have a comic about combiners, written by our very own, the man, the myth, the legend, Simon Furman. So Simon Furman wrote this Marvel UK comic. It featured a dream sequence shared by a robot and a human. Which robot and which human are we talking about? So in this comic that was to introduce combiners, there was a scene where a robot and a human shared a dream.
That's the longest question ever.
Yeah, it is. So we don't need to know the dream, but we would like to know the names of the bot and the person.
That way in the dream.
Yeah.
In
86.
Marvel's comic from the 1986.
I mean, it shouldn't be that hard, you know, the characters. But yeah, please do your guesses, do your Google searches very fast, and you can start popping the answer in the chat with your name, alliance.
In-game name,
In-game
alliance
name,
name, and
HQ level.
HQ level.
Yeah.
And the answer.
And the answer. Without the answer, there is no prize. And if you get to be the winner, in a few days you will get some freebies from the game and the admiration of all the other players that are in the channel, seeing how you gave the right answer. So Papi Bless is saying, no, don't expect shared human and robot dreams in his comic. Yeah, we need to read it. I'm very curious now. We see some answers. They don't. The first one, they don't mean to be the right ones. So keep searching. Keep trying to remember this comic. In 1986, so it may be not that fresh in your mind, but probably there are sources to find out.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of answers. Maybe
I see one.
the correct answer.
I think I saw one. Wait. Well, I did. Should we? Are we accepting just the first name? For the
From
human.
the bots.
For the human. No, not from the bot. No, from the human character.
I guess we can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will accept the first name of the bot as well.
No.
So let's say if we did a vote for the name of the boat, it would be probably a very well-known character. Oh.
Let's see if we miss any questions that we could take in the moment.
What was second base?
Second base.
Yeah, there is Robin Armstrong asking, will be able to build a second base sometime? That's quite a technical
Yeah,
limitation there.
it's a bit really complex work to do. So I probably don't think we'll go that way. Maybe the other ways you guys can build something, but I don't know. Still try to think of what will be coming in the future. But definitely it's not something we want to do.
It's something really
at the
big
moment. Yeah.
to do.
And also, like, I mean, if you make second base, like, what, do you just ignore your first base? Do people only attack your second base? There's a lot of, like,
Yeah,
complexities and things like that.
that's in our side as game developers, right? You have to think on every single implication of a feature,
Yeah.
and it's not easy. And sometimes you
It's
just see what
sometimes
is
like
right.
cost also like how long or times it takes to make everything, because you can only do so much pretty much with the resources you have at hands, and it's also like what can give more enjoyable to the players, and you don't even know that. Like a lot of times you assume what people want, and you hope you can actually get what you guys want.
Not many answers. It's a tricky one. It is a tricky one.
It is
From Latin
quite
America.
hard. Well, maybe we could start helping. Let's go back in the question. So.
Okay. The question.
So the question: which robot and human share a dream? So
So there was in 1986 when they introduced the combiner toys in the UK market. Simon Furman wrote a comic book.
the Transformer is a well-known Transformer.
Yeah,
It's already been mentioned in the stream today in some manner or form. As for the human,
do you know? I don't know. I don't really know about human.
I can't really describe him. I mean, he is part of a famous family.
He has a father.
Yeah, he has a father.
Yeah.
Let's see, we'll just wait a bit, and if people don't find in the next 2 minutes, we can continue with the next question or something.
Oh yeah.
It is a really abstract, like Marvel UK comics.
Well, we started getting some answers. So
The body set Transformer is not, I mean, it's not a combiner, it's just a Transformer, normal Transformer, so like I will give you another hint.
I got two.
What? Answers?
Yeah.
Okay, you can start putting them in the thing, and then we can, in 1 minute, we can just wrap it up, and we only give the ones that actually find it.
Do you want me to give it now? No.
You can write it down. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got winners,
So the winners are.
and the answer is.
The answer is.
So the answer is Optimus Prime
And Simon Furman. No,
and Buster
Witwicky.
Witwicky.
Buster
So Optimus
Witwicky.
Prime and Buster
Buster Witwicky.
Witwicky was the answer.
And for the winners, we have.
We have Defcon 64
from Prime Legend 17. And we have.
Gigabomb 98 from Forever Evil.
Forever
So
Evil.
congratulations, guys!
Yeah, give it a few days and we'll send you some freebies. And if you don't get them by Monday, just write to the support. They get it to you.
Cool. Let's do the second trivia. Hopefully that's a bit
Shorter
easier.
and easier. Yeah, question number 2 says Punch and Counterpunch will soon be joining the Earth Wars as soon as this weekend. A robot with 2 identities making him the perfect double agent. But in the Japanese continuity, Punch has a different name. So, what name does Punch have in the Japanese continuity? We have a hint from Nathan. It says, the name sounds like a novelty cocktail.
That's actually what you. If you Google that name, that's actually what you get to. You get the recipe somewhere. What is it?
So what's the Japanese continuity name for Punch and Counterpunch? That's the answer we're waiting for. As usual, your in-game name, HQ, and of course the answer.
Yeah, just the name for
And your lines,
Oh,
sorry.
I keep doing
I keep getting this wrong. Are you gonna find out how to make this?
So the cocktail is actually non-alcoholic and it has like 4 cups of pineapple juice, 3 cups of soda water, 1 large apple, and 700 grams of seedless watermelon.
that.
Okay, cool.
So it's
So
a
lots
juice.
of fruity.
Yeah, it's very summer. It's a
Mhm.
very summer drink.
Is there any alcohol in it?
No,
Okay, so it's
I don't
just
think
soft
so.
drinks.
Yeah, I think it's something for kids looking at the pictures.
That's the counterpunch version. The one with bad boys, they drink alcohol.
Cool. So I see some answers coming in this time.
Yeah.
And I see some wrong answers too. So
Okay, I'm gonna collect some.
Okay. Some answers there.
Answers.
Interesting things going on.
Making service for the people I got so far. Some channels are really quiet actually. Ah,
Yeah.
it's been a quiet stream.
That may mean we talk too much.
Or maybe people are just using the combiners on defense. Who knows?
We released it like a week ago.
Yeah, it's actually no.
Yeah.
Just as we went in the stream, if people just push the outpost build to build as soon as we push it out, it will be finishing during the stream. So
Okay. Yeah, there was someone, I didn't catch the name, but he's saying he watches us from his work. Like, oh, be careful.
well, we are safe for work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Most of the time, until I just throw cars here and there.
What about a community raid that takes a weekend to defeat Unicron? Oh boy.
Yeah, they were like, we were mentioning like stuff we could do for the future. And someone did mention Unicorn. I don't know how you're gonna make Unicorn in the game. You fight on his head.
Yeah, neighbor or something. The thing about these kind of events is that they must be attractive and they must be playable for all kinds of players. So yeah, it has many implications and levels of thought to apply and to figure out what can be introduced or not. But it's a good idea. I mean, I would like to see that.
Yeah, if we can do ever like getting some kind of unicorn in the game, we would love to do that. Yeah, we have to find something that actually makes sense in scale and actually it's based on the lore and actually it makes sense to have him and to feel
Yeah,
like
because obviously we want to explore the
even-
lore, but it
even,
has to be fun.
yeah, even if like when we do Titans, we want something to not make them smaller so everyone can actually fit them in base or something like that. We wanted to make them just as they are in the universe. And whatever we want to do in the universe is like we want to play with the rules as much as possible.
Okay, I think I only have one answer.
Only one answer?
No. Second one.
Cool.
Just came in.
Alright, let's announce the winners then.
So the
And
winner.
the answer.
So the answer is Space Punch.
Space
You
Punch.
can also
We
drink.
are all here.
And the winners are Purple Nopal from TF Psyops and also Thunderbolt from All Spark Knights.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, guys. 2 minutes, hard questions this time around.
Yeah, I mean, Nathan. Wow. And as usual, thank you a lot.
Yeah.
We couldn't make these great questions without you for sure, and impressive knowledge.
Cool, so that's all with trivia. We have a few minutes left, so if anyone has any questions, please write in and we can actually handle them.
There is a usual question about achievements.
Yes, Jairo,
it's
what
been
about
long, it's been
achievements?
long. The thing is that I need to figure out what happens when we change them, what happens with the ones you have achieved already and the new ones, but There is something also I want to jump. I actually have started already to figure out these things and to make a proper update on achievements. Also considering how many new things are in the game that weren't in the when we released them. So I would like to have like a huge list of things, of achievements related to any kind of action in the game, with the G-Metal cores, with the Prime cores, with all these kind of things we have been introducing, and thinking on backwards what will happen when we introduce them. So it's not, it won't be an easy or light thing to do, but it will be a proper project that I have started to work on.
Cool.
Cool.
Populous is asking, who is your favorite Transformer? Not yet in the game.
Is it ours? Is it for us?
Yeah,
So
it's
is
for us.
I don't know. Which one for you, Jairo?
I really like Octopunch, but he's in game. I can make the joke and say Paddles or Willy. I don't know.
We have done quite a lot of the popular bots. There's a few like from the G1 that still does not happen.
I would like to see Wrecker for sure. This is kind of.
Wrecker
I think
would
it
be
would
nice.
be so cool in game, and it could be something very different, like this kind of third faction kind of. So it would be cool. Yeah. We have one of our colleagues here. He's
Well,
super fun.
I guess for me, the one I would want somehow to put in the game would be Omega Supreme. But I will always go right to Dream Peak. I said to the artist guys, and they're just like, no. But yeah, like if we could do Omega Supreme in some
This
kind of
Overlord.
form, maybe, I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But Scorponok.
Well, Scorponok again it's Titan based, so if it also come, it will come as a kind of a Titan form. So I know in like some of the continuity is actually a bit smaller, but I would rather to keep him into kind of a big shape. I don't know. Maybe we'll introduce new Titans at some point. Never know. Never know.
The one we just talked about, the one that always come in the chat. Those ones.
Hotshot or Leo Breaker. We often, when we see these names, we Google them and we see how would they fit. Also, always thinking on Autobot and Decepticon counterpart, but we love to see the names and your ideas and suggestions, and we take them into account. So that's how Punch and Counterpunch came to life, actually. So
Yeah.
also.
People are asking if we will ever be able to test your base feature. In the future, you'll probably be able to do that. As I said, I did allow some of our playtesters to be using that feature to test the unique combiner outpost. There were some issues, which was why, of course, we have not actually fixed them and actually tried to introduce this feature, even though we always had it into our debug builds. In the future, I would like you guys to have it, but not yet. But it will come. For sure. Oh, is my laptop dead? Oh no!
His laptop is dead. Are we live? We don't know.
I don't even know.
Well, it's a time.
Battery is dead.
Really?
Maybe you want to say stream stop it.